What up, man?
What's going on, man?
Man,
How
not
you
much,
feeling?
man. Same old, man. Work,
Yes,
work.
sir.
What you been working on?
Man, some of everything, man. I'm over at Reach Records now.
Right,
Yeah, man.
congrats.
Thank
Congrats.
you, brother.
Has it been, what, about a year?
It's been a year now.
About a year?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a year, and
Congrats.
it's a whole new arena for me. Cause
Right,
you know me for a minute, man. But I was a creative, just straight writing. So now I'm
right,
on the executive side. So this is a whole new monster, a whole new beast to conquer. But it's been fun because the environment's so healthy. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So it's just like it's been dope, man.
Does being an executive change how you create now?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm way more critical. I'm way more
Okay.
critical, and I'm more patient. Like I'll take more time on the record now. Like
Mm,
it ain't like just go in and cut the record and we done
right.
energy no more. It's like we can go in, cut this record, but I may hold that record and sit on it and then come
Mm,
back to it and change the beat. Come in, bring in another writer and change up some
mm.
lyrics or change up structure or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like now we're looking for like another level of creation, man. Like another level of excellence on these like joints, bro. Like you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
No, that's dope. So, did you find like, you know how like you can get in certain rooms,
Mm-hmm.
like for me, for instance, like I had got with a writer, number one writer. When I say number one, got tons of number ones or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever, and listening to or just witnessing how they write.
yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, this is how you make a number one.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I even like Mace would always say, he'd tell me, he'd be like, man, to be great, you got to get around greatness. You know what I'm saying?
that's
So,
true.
needless to say, so now that you at a label, obviously I know there can be a different approach, but did you learn like some things that maybe you was doing wrong from a melody or lyrical standpoint, or like, or what could, not necessarily wrong, but or what could, did you learn better ways to get the same goal?
Yeah, so it's like I'm hearing the difference between an album cut and a record that's going to stream well, because
Right.
radio ain't really a thing no more. So it's like I learned the difference between an album cut and a record that's streamed well. I can hear a record and be like, oh, that's going to be a dope album cut. It's a great record,
Right.
but this ain't going to be a record that you stream over and over and over again. It's
Right.
just going to be a dope joint on the album. And then I can hear when it's like, oh nah, people gonna be stuck on this one. You know
Right.
what I mean? So that's something that's like new, and I didn't even know you could hear it until I'm around, Ace, the VP over at Reach,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, nah, Dre, that's not gonna stream well. And I'm like, bro, but it feel good, man. What
Right.
you mean, bro? This gonna go. And he like, it's not gonna stream well though.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then now I'm hearing it, and it's like it's a whole new monster. So when if you ask me to critique a record, man, I might get on your nerves. You know what I'm saying?
No, man.
Yeah,
That's a lot of times that's needed.
yeah,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
But a lot of so being an executive now though, have you like has it been a moment where you kind of lost the feeling versus because if he's saying stream well, then you saying it feel good.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference for you now? You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Because
it, it-
feeling obviously always is a winner.
right, right. It's just it's a mixture of both. It's like because I've been a creative so long, I still know how to go into my instinct. And
Okay.
that's something that we learn and don't even realize is that's what we kind of learning through our journey is how to trust our instinct,
Right.
because there's no right way to do music. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like we learn how to trust our instinct. Now that I know how to trust my instinct and I know how to trust my gut, now
Right.
it's like, what are the qualities of a record now? Like for instance, R&B. Do you know there are no pianos in the top R&B records right now? You feel what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like nobody's just playing straight chords. It's all pads and maybe a guitar. You feel what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like if you go down the top Spotify playlist or Apple playlist, you won't hear piano. If you do, it's like rare.
Right.
So me knowing that as an executive, so when I'm in there and the artist come and say I like this beat, I'm like it's a dope beat, but because of these elements, you may not get in this playlist. And we trying to get you in this playlist. I would never say that to the artist.
Why not?
Because, bro, like, then we fighting for nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
you can say it to the producer.
Yeah, you say it to the producer. You say
Oh,
it to
okay,
the
gotcha.
other people that understand. Like, we went through that.
Right,
I'm
for sure.
like, nah, change this drum.
Right.
Change this. But I wouldn't go to the artist and have that discussion because it's like, I'm trying to make sure that you secure spots in certain playlists and stuff like that.
Right.
But I don't want you to feel like I'm taking away from your initial creative thought. You know what I mean?
Right.
In a sense. So it's just being able to balance that. And you got to kind of be a psychiatrist in a way. Like,
Oh, yeah, no,
you know
for
what I
sure.
mean? If as long as it comes out dope, the
Right.
artist isn't going to complain. They're going to be like, okay, it kind
Right.
of felt like it needed to feel. You know what I mean?
Right. Do you feel like to be an A&R is necessary to be a creative?
Man, I feel like no, because there's like dope A&Rs who know how to make plays and put those situations together.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to be a creative, but I feel like if you are a creative, it takes it to another level.
You could be a better A&R.
You could be a better A&R
Right.
if you know the lingo. If I'm able to talk to the engineer, I'm able to talk to the producer. I'm in these different languages.
Right, no, for
'Cause,
sure.
you know, producers, engineers, and songwriters all talk 3 different languages.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? So if you know all the languages and you able to call a producer and say, hey, I need you to change this kick in this 808, and they're clashing, so I need you to take out some low end on that 808 so it won't clash with that kick drum. And then you able to call an engineer and say, hey, can you tighten up the compression because the elements of the song feel like they're kind of loose.
Right.
And you're able to go to the songwriter and say, hey, these cadences don't work.
Right.
You feel me? Those were 3 different languages and lingos that don't exist within each other. So
For
it's
sure.
like you have to know them as an A&R to be able to communicate what you're really looking for and to get it to be efficient. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
No, I mean, no, that definitely makes sense. I think being a creative, obviously, you know, you're dealing with your ear at that point. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of some A&Rs fall in these positions though, and to me it seems like they don't know what they're doing. As far as you know, and as a creative, I know you've come across you know, some people that you like, how'd you get this position?
I feel like what it is too, man, is like the truth is, bro, we all out here fishing.
For sure.
We all out here fishing, and it's hard to describe something that never exists before. So when it's like, man, the A&R don't know what they doing, really, bro, it's like I'm trying to make something that didn't exist
Right.
before, and
Right.
then I gotta come to you and describe that to you.
Right.
So you like, yo, so what's the project supposed to sound like? That's like somebody coming to you and saying,
Oh yeah.
hey, what color was a color you never seen before?
Right.
And I'm about, it's gonna be kind of like blue, but kind of like red, but kind of like purple,
Right.
but it's gonna be mostly blue. And then you like, it's a trap song. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, bro, that was
Right.
a trap beat. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? So that's to answer your question. It's like I feel like A&Rs got it so I ain't gonna even say they got it bad, but it's just like we in a position to try to explain artistic expression, and that's hard to explain, bro.
Right.
Like, that's hard to communicate. And
For
then
sure.
it's not us, it's not our vision, right? So that's the other thing is this is coming out of somebody else's mind.
Right.
And then we're trying to communicate what's coming out of their mind, and then we go back and they be like, that's not what I meant. And
Right.
then now it looks crazy to you because I came to you and told you I need some trap drums, and then I go back and it was like, no, I was talking about a country record. I'm like, what? You described it like this. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
describes trap. But so that's what's happening, bro. It's just A&Rs, I think they can become more efficient if they learn how to translate artists. And
Right.
artist is a language itself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for
So if
sure.
you can translate an artist, those are the dopest A&Rs that can read the artist before, like, man, all my artists, bro, like, I'm studying their personalities.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm studying what type of things they're into, who they listening to,
Right.
because it's like when I communicate with them, I'm trying to think what they need
Right.
versus, you know what I'm saying, what they telling me, because they don't even all the way understand. They just got this feeling they want to express. So it's like I got to be right there with them mentally.
Right.
So it's like the only way you can really tap into what a person is trying to express creatively if you're in their world, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like if I'm working on a certain artist, like I'm asking them like, yo, what you listening to right now? Send me a playlist. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
what type of fashion are you into? What movies are you watching? Let me kind of jump into your world so when we creating, we on the same frequency. You know what I mean?
So from what I know, when a person is working for a label, especially from an A&R, you're a signed artist, right? So have you ever worked with an artist that you ain't really meshed with for real, but you assigned to them? Like,
Man, that happened at it was a label. I ain't gonna say too many details.
Yeah,
but
no, for sure.
I was gonna incriminate myself.
No, you good.
But nah, man. So yeah, that's
And how do you get past it? Like,
you get to know the person, because at first I'm like, man, bruh, like, come on, dog. You just kind of threw this person on me. And then I actually got to know the person, and I'm like, yo, he a dope person. And
Right.
then seeing them develop as an artist, I'm like, oh, okay, I understand you now. You
right,
feel what I'm saying? So it was like finding out that they were that it's a good person, and we could talk, and we could, like, once it got to the point where me and the artist could communicate,
right,
and I was like, yeah, I don't mind. Like,
Right.
I don't even mind going through the trenches with you now, because now we friends. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So that's how you get past that. If you ever are in that situation as an A&R, that's how you get past that, is try to become friends with that person, because if sometimes they good people.
right,
You know what I'm saying? It's just like they probably still in denial, like, bro, I don't even know why they signed me, bro. Like,
right,
deep in their mind, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you start to realize like what type of person they are, and you start to you kind of start to grow a passion for their vision, and you want to see them win.
right.
So, hopefully you dealing with a humble, artist with humility, and then once you want to see them win, it's like, I don't even care where your talent at, we can work on that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, I could put you with the right people and get the right songs to you.
Right.
We can, as long as you got work ethic, we good. But
How often do you see artists with humility?
oh yeah, they out there.
I know they out there. I'm just saying, like, when they come in to deal with A&Rs, by the time you get signed, a lot of them are like very confident.
Bro, no cap. I'm not lying. Our whole entire roster is some of the most humble
That's dope.
artists you ever.
All the ones I met is definitely.
And that's all of them. That's
Right.
crazy. The ones you met, but every single one of them are just alike. And I think that's the fact that they got Christ in their life. You know what I'm saying? They got a foundation, and that's what keeps them humble. They got somebody to answer to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But bro, every single one of them like that, and that's been an amazing experience.
Right.
Like, they're saying thank you, we appreciate you. Hey, like,
right.
like, bro,
That's
it's time.
stuff,
Yeah,
right.
it's like, oh, hey, I'm supposed to be helping you, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's been dope, man. It's been it's showing me another side of the industry too, that I'm like, this industry ain't got to be as toxic as it is.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I can get into that. I haven't had a super pleasant experience in the gospel, but I mean, but the industry is the industry to me or whatever. So how do you navigate just in gospel, being that I feel like Reach Records is kind of looked at as like the people who are like, in a sense, innovative, you know what I'm saying? But like just push the limits of gospel music, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm sure y'all receive flack, for even attempting that, being in gospel industry, you know what I'm saying? So how do y'all even navigate past that, or you just stay in your own world and like, man, this gonna work, or like?
Yeah, I think it's that last thing, like staying in your own world and just staying in your lane, and just like honestly, we just be having fun.
Right.
We're just having fun making music over there.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like literally we got this thing right now where it's like the quality control test that we do,
Right.
you know, with the A&R team. And it's like, I'm easy. I'm more so like, that's dope. Let's try it.
Right.
And then they get the Ace, and Ace is kind of like, I don't know.
Right.
Then they get to our other A&R, Alex, and it might be a nope. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If it get to Alex and don't make it, we got to take it back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
funny.
that's been dope, is like having that system too. And but yeah, bro, it's just us kind of staying in our own world, staying in our lane. And our idea is just like, yo, let's create the best music possible.
Right.
And the thing is, because of the artists are so humble and they have humility,
Right.
they're willing to like be there, like we're all working together for the same cause. Like every artist on the roster wants to make high quality product.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nobody is like, man, I'm hot, just put it out. Nobody's doing that
Right.
on the roster. So from Lecrae down, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's literally like everybody wants to make great music. So
Right.
we got from the artists, the engineers, the mixers, which is the engineers. I just said that.
Yeah, the man, and kudos to the engineers who mixed.
Shout out Biz.
Yeah,
Shout out
y'all got some
Connor.
dope engineers.
Yeah, man. Code.
Because I was just getting at a lot of times I hear like the quality of some gospel artists records, not all, but some it just, I don't know, sometimes it just missed the mark for me. Not necessarily saying their talent. I'm talking about like some of the mixing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mixing or even the production. I'm like, I mean, you know, I'm like, how that even touch a billboard or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But y'all put like a real effort across the board though, not even just on one side of it. It's like across the board.
Yeah. It's wanting. It's like wanting to. What it is. My bad.
No,
But what it is the creators got a competitive edge too.
Right.
And that's what you seeing. That's what you hearing. It's like, yo, we want our music to, like, people to be like, yo, when they hear it, yo, I want to make something like that.
Right.
Like that's the idea that we think about. Like we want to kind of inspire people to take it to another level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And definitely, and they thinking of what quality is. And not only in gospel music, man, it's just music, period. Like, right now, I feel like in trap music, concept and lyric is like secondary to vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No,
and I'm like, yo, if we just match those things up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna take trap music to a whole nother space.
For sure.
Where, like, if you have artists who already got the vibe, now just give us concepts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Themes in their songs. It's going to, you know what I'm saying? That'll take it to another level. So those are things that we pay attention to. It's like just studying the market too. Like, man, engineering and mixing. You know, I started as an engineer.
Okay. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, bro. Like, I was engineering for probably like 5, like, that was my living.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Same then. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I was, I started over at Hot Beats.
Okay,
I was
Russell,
over there. Yeah, shout out 3D and
3D, okay.
Scotty was over there with me at the time.
Oh, I ain't know Scotty was over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and then from there, and that's when I was trash at mixing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my mentor at the time, Walt.
Okay,
I had went there. I was like dead broke, right?
Right.
And Tamel, his artist, had called me to a session. You know Tamel?
Yeah, I know Tamel.
Yeah. So she called me to a session, and I go there, and like my mom's dropped me off to the session. Right. So he was like, "Man, you what you got going on?" I was like, "Man, nothing. I'm looking for a job." He was like, "You need a job?" I'm like, "Yeah." He turned to the studio owner, was like, "Hey, he a mixing engineer. Could you put him on?" And bro was like, "Yeah, all right." You know what I'm saying? So now I'm up there making more money than any job I worked at the time. So I'm like, yo, this is dope. And like from there, I wasn't good at mixing at all. I didn't like now that I know what I know. I realized back then I didn't know nothing. But then that shows you, bruh, don't start when you ready, man. Start when you got the opportunity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I took the job. The first person I was in the session with was Sony Digital. And bro, I'm talking about it was so motivating because it was the top of the year. It was like a new year. And Sony in there, and he like, yeah, man, you got to start the year. How you gonna end it? And they in there, they cooking up, and I'm just the engineer, just sitting in the back, like just watching it. And you know, this is my first time in a session with anybody that's known.
Right.
I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I go in the back, call my homeboy. We ain't doing this right, bro. Like we need to. Hey, bro, we not grinding hard enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then after that, I probably spent like a whole year over there. And then ended up transitioning. Where did I go from there? Ended up getting into a situation where me and my homeboy, we started a writing crew called The Press or whatever. And then we had did this thing where I told him, I said, yo, for the next 3 months, bro, we not going to doubt ourselves. We not going to say nothing negative. We're going to stay away from negative people.
Right.
We're going to get a situation. And he was like, what? And then, you know, like, and it was crazy because
who goes out that way to doubt themselves? It's kind of hard to.
Yeah, like because you know you.
What? I'm still doubt myself. Next month.
So it was like, yo, for 3 months we not finna doubt ourselves. We just finna believe that something's gonna happen, bro. And we didn't know what was gonna happen, but we literally went. We did it like for 3 months.
Right.
Every time somebody said something slightly negative, we checked them like, nah. You know what I'm saying?
All right, that's
and
dope.
bruh, the 3 months passed and we ended up in the publishing deal as a writing team. And then that's when the networking really started. We started moving around and it grew from there. I landed into a situation. What's crazy about me being in the Christian industry is like all my writing partners became like either pastors or they found God.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like my first writing partner, Olu, like bro carried me on his back at the time. You know, I couldn't drive. Like I didn't have no bread, but bro used to come pick me up, take me to the studios and everything, bro. He used to carry me, bro. Like I wouldn't even be here without him. And then me and him, we ran into my next writing partner, which was Marcus Free. And Marcus was in this group called Hamilton Park. They were signed with Andre Harrell.
Got you.
Yeah, so ran into Marcus. My boy Marcus was like, it was like one meeting. And he was like, bro, we got to link up. He came to my house. He was like, I want to be in your writing group. And I was weirded out. I'm like, bro, hey, listen, man, I just met you. You know what I'm saying? Like, relax, my brother.
Right.
And he like, man, I want to, you know, man, I think we can be like a strong team, man, da-da-da. And I'm like, all right. And he kind of, he had this notebook, and he put out this notebook of all the things he wanted to do. He was like, yo, I want to get the group back together. I want to start a band, a corporate band. I want to do a corporate band. I want da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah. So we ended up just talking deeper. We got into prayer, all type of things. And we wrote a song for his daughter at the time. He just had his daughter. We wrote a song for his daughter, and then that night, we decided like, okay, let's do the group thing. And then what's crazy is me and Olu, like a day prior, we had a conversation. Olu was like, look, man, I think I like kind of lost the love for music. I'm going to acting. And I was like, look, bro, you know, you got me here. Like, go pursue your thing. Like, go pursue what you think about when you wake up. You know what I'm saying? Don't let me hold you to this. You know what I'm saying?
That's the key.
Yeah, so he went that way. Then me and Marcus linked up and started working. And then everything he had on that list. It came to fruition. It came to fruition, bro. Like, we had got the corporate band started. And then we started working on the group. And started putting some music together for him. And then once we had like a good body of work, like it wasn't a lot. It was like 5 songs or so with the group. We had took it to his homegirl, Joy Young, and she was over at Wonderland at the time.
Joy Young, that sounds really familiar.
Yeah, so she managed like Jadena and
okay.
And Janelle Monáe, she was over there for their
Right.
team. And now she's over at Interscope. But so anyway, we went over, took the music to her. He known her since their Atlantic days, like when they were signed to Atlantic.
Right.
And we sat there, and she like, yo, this is dope. Like, this is hard. We get in the car. He like, man, I really want her to manage us, but, I don't know how to ask. I said, bruh, she gonna ask you. And he was like, you think so? I'm like, I'm telling you, bruh.
Right.
She gonna ask you. And like 3 days later, he got the phone call and was like, bruh, she just asked, can she manage us and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Then we went into that situation for like 4 years, and I executive produced their project. What's the name of the project, man? I forgot the name of the project. I forgot the name of the project. That's crazy.
That's a dope story though. You know what I'm saying? Because you said Joy Young is over at Interscope.
Yes, yeah, Interscope. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that name. When I said that name, it sounds super familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Man, one thing you said though was you had a mentor though. How important is having a mentor in this industry?
Yeah, you need guidance, man. It's like it was a few people, man. It was a few people in my life. Shout out to my homie Press Play Jose. Like, that's where my production, like my first writing team was called The Press. And that's where the name came from. So it was like during high school, Jose used to like, he was in, we met him through the Dallas Austin program. So we was in the Dallas Austin.
I used to do it. I used to be in there too.
So my homeboy met him one day and then connected me. And I just used to send him records. And he used to always tell me, like, he kept it real. Yo, nah, this ain't it. It's trash. Like,
All right.
and this when I was really trash. And you call somebody trash when they really trash, that just hurt. You know what I mean?
Nah, fact.
Because you like, boy, I ain't got no way out. Boy, that's it.
When you first started, though, you think everything good.
Yeah. Man, when I go back and listen, I'm like, bro, I was bugging, bro. I was tripping. Like, but...
It could be a time thing. It could be an era thing.
Yeah, I was bad.
Oh, no.
Like, I was genuinely like, bro, I was recording on Audacity.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah. I was recording on Adobe Audition.
Oh, yeah. It was rough.
Yeah.
Hold up, I got one though. I was recording on the headphone.
I was too.
With the
with
the mic.
Yep.
And the speakers I had was the regular house speakers. And I had
the
like,
computer speakers.
Oh dang, what?
Yeah, I had a computer. I mean, not in the screen, the drums and they come. Remember they came with
Yeah.
That's what I used to have.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
On the little
I ain't know nothing about none of that though. Like,
at all, bro.
It came to a microphone. After I upgraded from that, I had like the little performing mic.
Oh yeah.
And it was like on this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know nothing about no
man
booths and all that other stuff.
Bro. I remember one time, bro, I had these headphones. I had finally got some good headphones and they broke. And I ain't got no money to buy no more headphones.
All right.
But I got me a rubber band. Boy, that rubber band used to be tight, right? You catch a headache.
All right.
You still recording,
You know what?
man?
I don't know about the rubber. I don't know what I did, but I remember doing something along the lines. I remember my ears used to start hurting. Like, you know what I mean? You know how I was so pressed on it? You know what I'm saying? That for about 10 minutes. Well, no, about 15, 20 minutes. Your ear gonna be red. It's gonna be...
Yo.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, nah, man. But so look. What is an A&R? So many people want to be an A&R.
Yeah.
Like, what is an A&R?
A liaison between the artist and the label. So he's basically just communicating the artist's ideas to the label, and then also, sometimes just selling the artist's ideas to the label as well. We're like the voice for them. So when we in those meetings in those corporate offices, we giving updates. So it's like I'm glad you asked this question, because a lot of times when artists are complaining that the label isn't doing anything or isn't paying attention to them, it's because you're not talking to your A&R.
Right.
Your A&R is your voice. You know what I mean? And you got to sell your A&R on your ideas, and you got to sell your A&R on your vision. So, because the thing is, if I'm passionate, say if you got an artist and you always hit me up to like go out to dinner or you got a birthday coming up or something, or the artist got an event coming up and you invite me to the event, and I'm just always hanging with y'all, I'm going to become passionate about what y'all got going on, right?
For sure.
And then what happens is when I go back in the office, when they ask me any updates, I'm talking about y'all.
Right.
Because you the homie, you know, you the management, but you the homie, and the artists, my friends too now.
Right.
So it's like I'm talking about y'all. Oh yeah, I just was in the studio with them. They recording. They had Lil Durk in there with them. That's, you know what I'm saying. And they doing this, and now the label is like, oh word, we didn't know, because the thing is, there's no cameras on you that the CEO of the label could be like, oh okay, you're in the studio this month. You're doing this.
Right.
It's so far detached, and artists, I don't think they realize that.
Right.
It's like, bro, these people are, you know, they coming in, they're doing, like, everybody is in their own departments and they're doing their jobs.
Right.
And sometimes their jobs doesn't pertain to what you got going on.
For sure.
So I wouldn't know what you got going on until you tell me.
Right.
But once you tell me, now I can communicate that better. So a lot of times, now that I'm in and I'm seeing it, I'm like, managers are kind of dropping the ball because they're not communicating to these A&Rs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like you have to work together. You have to create a community with your A&R team. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, even, you know, I know sometimes you feel like the A&R is kind of against you or whatever, but you got to kind of push past that as a manager specifically. Like, let the artists believe what they want to believe, but as a manager, you got to make sure you got that relationship with the A&R so you can properly communicate to the label. Because the A&R, if he's on your, like, if he's bought into what you got going on, I know what my CEO needs to hear to free up that money for you, or to get that done for you. I know what I have to say, but I need to have clear information on this side. You can't not communicate with me for months and then come and say, I want to drop this single, but I didn't even know you was working on the single. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This brand new information.
Right.
You haven't been communicating with me. You ain't called me, you ain't text me, you ain't emailed me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. It's like, it's more human interaction than people realize. It's like, be human, bro. Communicate. That's it.
How many artists does a typical A&R have, though? Like, as far as
I know
they have to worry about.
Yeah, I know with us, we kind of like support each other on our A&R team. So it's like whoever the artist kind of gravitates to. So it's kind of like I may have a great relationship with Few, so Few might just gravitate to me. So, you know, in the meetings, they may be like, yo, Dre, you know, you got the closest relationship. What's the updates? But then if anybody else want to jump in, they can jump in. So with it's because we're almost like a boutique label. Yeah. It's because we're like a boutique label. We're smaller. It's like there's no really assignments. It's just like whoever you grew with, like whoever you grown with, whoever you communicating with, which is why the communication piece is so important for the artist, because sometimes I'm paying attention to who's texting my phone. You feel what I'm saying?
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If I talk to you every day, then, like, you know.
If you need beats, or if you saying, yeah, I want to do some sessions over here or something, and we communicating every day, I'm gonna be able to provide that. But if you need beats and you ain't even email me, and then you be like, man, they ain't giving me nothing. I didn't know you needed anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, but see, with an A&R, though, could it be like, and this is me talking from like an artist perspective, an artist could feel like, man, that's your job to give me some beats. Give me a blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's just like, say you work at a fast food restaurant, and then it's your job to flip the burgers, but the person who's taking the orders ain't telling you the orders coming in, and then they turn to you and say, bruh, you missing orders. And you like, you didn't tell me it was an order coming in. You ain't tell me I had to do 2 burgers and a fry and a drink. You didn't say anything. So how was I supposed to catch that order?
No, that's real.
I can't do my job if you're not communicating.
No, communication is key.
Yeah.
Communication is key. So, but that goes back into maybe an artist having whatever gripes with the label or whatever they feel like isn't being done or whatever. So maybe that's why they not communicating, and then I guess at that point they probably just get dropped.
It's tough out here, boy. it get hard out here.
I'm about to say, never mind, because at that point they
It
get
get
shot.
hard out here, man.
So,
Speak up.
so upcoming artists, right?
Yeah.
How do they get to an A&R? Because it's one thing to, it's cool to have it in your bio, like A&R for Reach Records or A&R for, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. Then they're like, oh, okay, you A&R, and then they DM you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and you may not reply back, or you do. Like, I don't know. Like, what's the best way for upcoming artists to get the attention?
Man,
Your attention.
Build your following. Build your platform up. You know.
And then you'll find them.
Yeah. I'm gonna definitely find you.
Gotcha.
If I'm hearing everybody talking about you, I'm gonna find you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just build your following up. I will give you specifics on how to do that. Definitely in the CHA space. So in Christian hip hop, it's kind of easy because it's a newer market. It's smaller. It's not as clout driven. It's more so talent driven. You know what I'm saying? So in this market, it's like collaborate and high quality content. That's it.
Those are like the.
Yeah, and you're gonna eventually get the attention of us because it's like we're working. Like I'd be strategic about it. If I was an artist manager right now that was a CHH artist, I would be like, who's been on projects with Reach? Let's go do collaborations with them.
Right.
And then let's make sure like if we do a show or something, we're on with them because who's ever been in the building, obviously they got their eyes on them. So if we get next to them, then they'll eventually have their eyes on us. But of course, just build your platform higher and higher to the point where it's hard not to pay attention to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just, and then consistently releasing records at a high quality. You know what I'm saying? Like high quality records, which is just sometimes it's just I'm paying attention to the mixes.
Right.
I'm paying attention to the production.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking for all that. Even if say you do the collaborations and stuff like that, if I go to your page and your page not well done or
what is well done?
Like it don't got to be high quality pictures, but the pictures shouldn't look like you like it's a filter over. You know them pictures?
Right. I know
it look like a filter over your phone.
Right.
It look like you in like I ain't want to. I was about to diss the Android community. I ain't want to do it.
The Android community,
Right.
man. Step up, man. Step up, man. I did some for you.
On, man.
So even going back into the IGs, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, I don't think people realize that IG is a resume. You know what I mean? Like I think. And I'll say this from a producer aspect, and then you can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But from a producer aspect, say a person be like, yo, man, you gotta mess with me, I'm an artist or whatever. And the first thing I go on your IG is just a picture of your dog, your kids, you see what I'm saying? I don't see you in the studio at all. I don't see nothing professional. Yeah. I don't even acknowledge you as an artist for real. And it's not to say you're not dope. It's not this, but you just haven't attracted me. I see you're a family man.
You're right.
Which is cool. I'm not saying not to post it, you know what I'm saying? But
it's subconsciously
cool,
sending a signal that you don't take it as serious as I do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening. Is like they don't know they sending them signals.
Right.
Of like, bro, the fact that you not posting that you in the studio, the fact that y'all not posting content, the fact that you don't have any releases out,
right,
is showing me that first, if I do, say you are dope,
right,
and I do want to invest in you or like put some time into you,
right,
bro, off the rip, if you dealing with somebody that don't know social media, don't know like how to market themselves,
right,
off the rip, this is just my timelines too, but off the rip, that's 4 years of work. So now in my mind, I'm like, do I want to put in 4 years of retraining how you think?
Right.
And it ain't gonna be
because they're gonna be stubborn too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
right,
the first year. That's why it's
that's the first year, right.
In the first year, you gotta deal with the stubbornness.
Right.
You fighting through the stubbornness. The second year, it's gonna be like they kind of start doing something. The third year, they get comfortable. Then the fourth year, now we're ready to work.
Right.
So that's just
that's too. Oh, I ain't gonna say it's too long because Yeah, it's too long for me though.
You know, 6-month jobs, man. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for them 6 months.
I'm cool, man. I need one video of you doing something on your
That's
IG.
it, man. Something special, man. That's it.
Yeah, man. So now, what about the artists? That because the other cool thing to say is like, I don't be on no IG, man. I ain't got to post or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to. That's the other, because you know them people too, like,
Yeah, man.
because they make it seem like they don't be on IG. Like, you on IG just scrolling, but I ain't posting my life on there. I ain't posting. It's like, you can dedicate what you post. So needless to say, they may have something on there that's music. Well, I mean, a couple music things. You know what? Let's say it's all music, but it's like 6 months apart every post.
Yeah.
So like your fifth, sixth picture is like 2020.
Right. Those it's like the world of the music industry has shifted. We are now in the shift. We are now in the metaverse, man.
Right.
We are living in the metaverse. When you wake up in the morning,
right,
if you brush your teeth first, if you get to that part, the next thing is checking your social media.
Right, facts.
You feel what I'm saying? And that's where you are for the rest of the day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like, so the fact that we're in that's, to me, saying like, oh man, I don't want to post on social media, it's the same thing as back in the day if somebody was like, had the opportunity to be on BET or MTV and was like, man, I don't want to go do that interview on 106 in Park. Like, why I got to do that interview? I'm dope. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is, and then the crazy part is there's no gatekeepers in social media. It's free marketing.
Yeah.
You feel me? And now we're at a point where it's like you don't even have to pay for ads anymore and you can go viral.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just got to post a lot of content.
Right.
And so you telling me that you got free marketing in the palm of your hand and you don't want to do it because you too cool? Like, you don't, this not what you want to do.
Man, I tell people, man, because I knew somebody, they didn't want to do certain things. I ain't gonna say they didn't want to do certain things. Every time I talk to them, it's just their excuse was they didn't have a deal or they didn't have, like, whatever. I'm like, or they didn't have the money or whatever. Or I'm like, you ain't did what's free yet.
Right. And it's a lot of things free.
It's a lot of things free.
It's a lot of things.
Like, you ain't did nothing free yet.
It's a lot of things.
So why should somebody give you some money?
Yeah.
If you don't even know how to work for free.
Yeah, you gotta learn. Yeah. I'd like, man, anybody that gets an artist, before you take them to any label, like, teach them the grind.
Right.
And I'm not saying go to the studio. You let them pay out of pocket for some videos. Let them pay out of pocket for some photo shoots. Let them book their own studio sessions.
Right.
Let them do everything. Not saying that you're not their manager and you're not, no, just let them do it for a season.
Yeah, because it gives you a chance to see that, like, oh, they serious, and it gives you a push to be like, maybe I should help.
Not even
that. Or something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should.
Maybe I should help. It puts y'all on the same level of thinking.
Right.
Now y'all on the same frequency.
Facts.
Now you get it. You see why I was adamant about you showing up to that session on time, because you was going to disappoint some people. But because you didn't have to make the promise, I'm the one disappointing the people. But if I remove myself out the way and you got to call and say, hey, I'm going to be there at 7, and that's you saying you're going to be there at 7, and you don't make it at 7, and them people call your phone and say, hey, where you at?
Right.
Now you feel that.
Right. No, that's
and
real.
If you learn that, oh, that's not cool, now when I do it for you and I say you got to be there at 7, you're going to be like, yeah, let me be there at 7 because I remember when I did it. So sometimes artists never been through certain things before, so they don't know how that affects their manager. Like promising a producer that you was going to do something and then you don't do it. And now the manager got to go back and be like, man, he ain't want to do it. Okay, for a year, let that artist disappoint them producers and let that artist see how the producers be like, yeah, bro, I've been giving you records, but you ain't been doing nothing with them.
Right.
And when that artist, the first time an artist hear that, when you start bringing them beats, they gonna understand now. Like,
no, that's real. They gotta go through the fire.
Exactly. You gotta let them go through the fire. Definitely now, because it's like if you're not self-efficient, you're not gonna survive out here. So it's like they have to understand that from a mental point.
Right.
You can't, and that's the thing. I think for new managers out here, like you get this feeling as a new manager that you got to do everything to prove to the artist that you're of worth or of value, but
Right.
you're actually blocking this artist from getting on the same page with you by not allowing them to go through some things. Any artist that I've managed or that I built with, the first thing I do is, here go the producer, get him to come to the studio with you. Book the studio time and call the producer and let me know when y'all there. Here go the photographer. I'm going to go get the relationship,
Right.
but you have to organize the situation. And I'm going to do that with you for a whole year before I start taking it and doing it for you. Because if you've never done it, you need to do it. This your year to do it. You don't got no buzz. You ain't got nothing going on for real. You got time to make these calls.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So do that for a whole year. See how you called the producer and the producer that didn't show up, or the engineer wasn't available, so you had to switch and get another engineer.
Right.
Go through all that for a season. So then when I come in and I start going to get these bigger producers and bigger situations for you, you respect it now.
Right.
Because you know how hard it was. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So I would say stop hiding the rough times from these artists, because say you never let an artist do anything the whole time. Just focus on your art. Just focus on being an artist, and then y'all blow up. Now this artist is like not showing up to stuff. Not, you know what I'm saying, not committed. They ain't got no work ethic. And you like, dang, what happened? You just babied this artist this whole time, so he don't know how to think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta don't build artists, build businessmen.
Right.
Build businessmen and businesswomen. You know what I'm saying? I want a partner. I don't want an artist that I'm managing. I want a partner.
Right.
You
No,
feel
that
what I'm
makes
saying?
sense.
So,
No,
like,
that definitely
even
makes sense.
Lil Russell was an example. He's a businessman.
Yeah, no, he's doing, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love everything about like what he's doing with his movement. Like you pretty much, you could pay what you want for his product.
That's amazing. That's a sign that you've been doing your business yourself for a minute, that you came up with an idea like that.
Right.
You
That's so hard to me.
you had to be taking care of your own business to say, maybe let's try this.
Right.
You wouldn't come up with that thought if you wasn't handling the business. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What's the future of music for you? You feel like?
I think, man, really, I just want to kind of innovate things.
No, I'm talking about the future of like where you see music going.
Where music going, period.
Yeah.
Man, what's crazy, we here. Bro, social media.
Right.
We is here, bro. We're here. And I think we got to accept where it's at. Forget where it's going for a second. Accept where it's at, because the where it's going conversation was 4 years ago.
Right.
We got here. We here. Like, streaming didn't exist, bro. When we started, streaming didn't exist.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, it's looking like between like all the arguments that even with a lot of stuff, even with Kanye doing and just from Jay-Z, it's always been an argument just of what the labels and all the other stuff is doing. It just looked like music is about to be distributed different. Like right now, we got the streaming things, right? But I think people are fighting for more ownership, and I think it's about to go past masters. You see what I'm saying?
We got to come up with a new business structure for
That's
masters.
what I'm saying. I think
Gotcha.
the business structure about to change. Like you look at, like just even the NFTs exist. You know what I'm saying? You look at what Lil Russell doing and all that other stuff. Like I may not even go to stream his music, but I might support everything he's doing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like he may make more money off his likeness versus his music. You know what I'm saying? As far as everything he's doing on social media, like, or his backyard concerts, I may not ever hear the actual song. You know what I'm saying? And bump it in my car.
Right.
But the fact that he's trying to innovate and trying to do whatever, it's like, dang, I like this person.
Right.
So now my investment is actually just going to this person. Like, yo, you should check him out. He got a good message and all this other stuff. So that's kind of the question I'm going to. I'm like, where you see the music industry.
I mean, what you just said kind of like, you tapped it with the whole, I think, business structures then.
Right.
Business structure's about to change.
Right.
Because it's like the knowledge is here now. You
Right.
can't. It was a time where you could hide the knowledge. It
No,
wasn't so.
yeah,
It
that's
wasn't
over with.
easily accessible. Now we can just go online and literally Google everything. Or all right, what's crazy is I don't even have to Google information. I could just stroll on my TikTok or
Right.
Instagram, and it's forced on me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this
Right.
is music publishing. Be like, bro, I didn't even ask you this, bro. Okay. I'm going to sit here for 15 seconds and digest this. And
Right.
now when I walk in the label, I'm like, hey, man, I need my masters. They like, where you even got this information from? I woke up this morning, it was on TikTok. So, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, bro, like, I think that's the thing is, like, it's going to be business structures, bro.
Right.
Like, everybody going to have to adjust to the new artists and just the new wise savvy artists, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I think it's gonna be cool. I think it's gonna be all right. Like, it's okay to.
I'm sure the labels will find a way to make sure it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I feel like we're gonna be straight, man. Like,
Is any of that intimidating as a songwriter?
as a songwriter,
Yeah, because as a creative, we're used to
Yeah.
certain ways. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
I had a friend ask me. I don't say he asked me, but we were just talking. Like we were talking about the NFTs and how does that structure as a producer and
Yeah.
songwriter? You know what I'm saying? Just because it's how you get your percentage if it's not on streaming platforms or if it's not. You see what I'm saying?
yeah. I feel like, and I wanna dive into the songwriting aspect because I started as an engineer, and then the
Right.
second love was songwriting.
Right.
And I've grown a passion for innovating the songwriting business model. You know what I'm saying? I think I got something. I'm gonna share it. But what was the question one more time?
Man, that was a long, like, just overall question, but it was just kind of just saying that with the future of just music of what I think it would like with NFTs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was just saying where does your confidence lie in the songwriter and producer
Yeah.
getting pretty much their percentage, because if it don't hit the streaming platforms,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? It's just how do we get paid?
It's gonna take the songwriter stepping up as a business person and as a businessman and start like structuring their model a little better. Like you're gonna have to communicate with the artist's team exactly what you want, and you're gonna have to be willing to walk away from some situations.
Right.
And I think that's the thing. It's like songwriters don't understand how rare a good songwriter is compared to how rare a good producer is.
Right.
It's less good songwriters
I agree.
than it is producers. You know, I could take a guy that's good at melodic and put him with a guy that's good at drums and make a dope beat just by putting them two in the room.
Right.
But sometimes you can't do that with songwriters. You can't
For sure.
combine two songwriters that's, this guy is good at this and it's rare to find like super dope talent. So that being said, songwriters have to step up and be willing. Like one thing I do is I got this thing where I call it a sellable catalog, and then a career catalog. And these are two different things. So my career catalog is I'm gonna go work with the top producers. I'm gonna just name super big producers I haven't been in with. Pharrell, Timberland. I'm gonna go work with those, and I can't sell those records because those producers are going to charge, an arm and a leg to get that off. I can't do nothing with it. But that, what that does for my status or my what it is.
Just recognition.
Just
really.
recognition. Yeah. People were like, oh, you were in with Pharrell. Okay. All right. That's what I'm doing that for.
Right.
You feel me? But then a sellable catalog, I'm going to come to somebody who I got a dope relationship with. I probably would come to class and be like, look, I got these situations where I got independent artists, like they got 1,500 a song, and can we just break that down the middle? And then what'll happen is me and class just going to go and we're going to build a 20-song catalog, And whenever I got a situation, I'm going to the sellable catalog.
Right.
So yeah, I got these songs with Timbaland but I'm not finna play this in the room with the independent artists for
Right.
$1,500 budget. I'm finna play the Class Records
Right.
because I know me and Class gonna break bread. And if songwriters apply that method to their career, well, I'm not saying don't write with the big producers. I'm just saying know what is what. Separate it so that you can make your money and you don't got to be out here broke and starving.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's something that I've started applying. It's like I got a list of songwriters who I do sellable catalogs with, and it's just like I know I can sell this music. And then there's guys who I do songs with, and I'm like, I'm not gonna even play this if I'm sitting next to an artist. You know what I'm saying?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So one of the artists that you do A&R is 1K Few,
Yep.
which is I've been a fan of him. Actually, well, when I first heard him, I did a record with him called New 4th of July.
Oh yeah.
And I think that was before you had
Yeah, that was before I got there.
Yeah, so I had did that record, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, he dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I tell you, like, I told him because I was like, I normally don't like gospel rappers.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when I grew up, all gospel rappers like it was like all corny.
Oh yeah, they come John 16 and the Lord gonna save you.
But you know what they was doing though?
Yeah.
They was remaking songs that were popular, I guess. I hate the secular industry. I hate like that.
Yeah,
but
even
anyway,
the separation of it.
Yeah, I hate the separation of it. You know what I'm saying? But they would take a popular song and then like I remember like White Tee was popping. Like whatever my white tee, but then they switched it like praising my white tee. I was like, oh God, I hate
praise
gospel.
pop. They doing the kids pop. Praise
like,
pop.
man, I hate gospel rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was like a real thing.
Yeah.
I was like, God don't even like this.
Yeah. Come on.
Hey man, but I was the person to say it. I don't care.
Yeah.
But anyway, but I told him, I was like, man, like when I heard him, I was like, bro, it was refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when I did a deep dive and I was like, and we from the same side of town too.
Absolutely.
You know
you
what
from the
I'm
east
saying?
side?
Yeah, I'm from the east side.
I didn't know that.
I'm from the east side.
I mean, I grew up over there.
It's Young Road.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Covenant, Panola,
Yeah,
all that.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So with that being said, is I grew up with more of that was more real to me. Like the angle that he was approaching, like whether it was like saying he went to jail or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I relate to all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like these, my neighbors, like, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. So if I did, like when I did go to church, like on a Sunday or whatever, like, yeah, the guy next to me, like I know him outside of this church. You know what I'm saying? Like whether we on the church basketball team or whether we, wherever, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, I know that guy, so the person I praised him on white tee, all that type of stuff, it was fake to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool.
You connect
I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? And every aspect in every industry, whatever, is like I want to connect.
Yeah.
Like, period. Like, that's why I listen to music. Like, I don't just listen to music just because of who you praising.
Yeah.
Like, I care less who you praising. If it's not good, you know what I'm saying?
I get it.
And I think a lot of times in gospel, I think that's like the getaway. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you talk about God, so it's great. I'm like, no, it still sucks. It still sucks.
Yeah, I get it. Like, I definitely understand that.
You know
like,
what I mean?
The quality of the actual song is the second thought.
Exactly.
And you saying like, yo, both could stand.
Yeah, both. Yeah, like people still like good music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
And that's why you got the Kurt Franklins and all them who could stand the test of time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and it'd be like amazing. Like you could still go back and listen to this song. Like, oh my gosh, I remember this time in my life.
Absolutely.
Or whatever. You know what I mean? But needless to say, with 1K Few, I was like, man, like, just one all around just dope artist from a swag standpoint. Like, and that's the other part. Like, just from a look standpoint, in gospel is normally not something you can attach to either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I never just wanted to look like this gospel person.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you don't really get
Yeah.
You normally don't get that.
Yeah.
So when I see him and hear what he raps about and just the perspective that he comes from, I'm like, I can respect the whole aspect of this artist.
Absolutely.
So going into us working on
As I Am,
you know what I'm saying? Like I was just excited just to, man, heck yeah, because like I said, I already did one, but I had never met him when I did that record.
Yeah.
So hold on, damn. So actually, I had met him a time before that, but not when I did that record. So I was in the studio with him one time, and then when I was actually talking to him, I was like, "Dang, cool guy too."
Cool,
like all of
back.
So I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, this
funny.
This cool. Like this is like I know these guys like all these guys." So going into working on As I Am, I'm like, I know he gonna kill it. Like I don't feel like I'm here like working on this corny gospel record.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't feel like dragged about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when we doing it, I'm like, man, like I'm excited. Like, let's get it. And then my computer crashes.
What a night.
Yeah, my computer crashes that same night. But I'll let you tell that story,
so
man. We was in there for hours too. I'm over here trying to.
I'm gonna go to how we even got in the room, man. So I call AC a lot, Ashton. I don't know, you know Ashton. AC.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm tripping. So but so anyway, man, I call AC sometimes just to kind of help put sessions together and stuff like that. Like he got a lot of connections in the city and stuff, and so I call him and be like, yo, I got this idea, who you know? And he was like, man, we can get Kid to come in and produce it. And then I got my boy Jay Howe, he'll come in and he'll help co-write. And Jay Howe is also an artist. And I'm like, oh, that's dope. Yeah, bring him in. So we go into the studio and I think we started with like a guitar loop.
Yeah.
We wrote the record to this guitar loop. And it was actually another record. We started on another record. That record was kind of like, it was dragging a little bit. Right. And then we went back to the drawing board and I gave my big Diddy speech. You know what I'm saying? Man, we need that one, man. We need that joint, man. This ain't it. We got to talk about this. You know what I'm saying? So we ended up writing the title track to the record and then coming up with that. And then I think once we put down the idea to the guitar loop, that's when you came in. We had the vocals ready, and then came in. You started doing your thing.
Right.
The computer crashes.
Man,
it's getting late too. It's getting late. So
I remember one because after I want to go back into when y'all did the hook on it. Cause y'all was going, I think the intent was to do like 2-3 records.
Yeah.
And you was like, I know we can stop right here. Like that's
the for sure.
You was kind of for sure about that. So I'm like, okay, I really gotta nail it.
Yeah.
Okay, I really gotta do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and we didn't use the guitar.
We did not.
I wasn't building around nothing, just the vocals now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, but going into
so it got. The night it was getting late, I think your computer crashed. You went back to grab.
And I think I was waiting for my boy to pull up.
Waiting for B Will to pull up. He was coming from a show.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So we waited for B Will. Shout out to Ace, man. He stayed. He could have left at any time, but he stuck in there, man, with me. It got to the point we started freestyle battling each other. I don't know if we was saying the hottest bars of all time or we was tired, but I just remember him snapping. Right. But so yeah, I think we got to a point where it wasn't done, but the idea was there.
Yeah, we had got like the basis of it, like B Will came and laid the keys and stuff like that. And I don't even think I was even able to add like, I know I couldn't do too much that night.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like reassuring, like, yo, it's gonna be
it's gonna be
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be dope. Like,
I'm
gonna take it back to my studio and everything, because I had saved the file a different way so it'll load on my other computer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that attests to so something else too is like, I think a lot of times people don't understand, like when you got a close relationship with an A&R,
Right.
and you going back and forth on like a production, don't give up, because it's like you already got the song.
Right.
We just got to get it right at
Right,
this
facts.
point. And that's sometimes I think like a lot of people, I done seen a lot of people with super close relationships with A&Rs or with managers, and they give up midway, thinking that, man, I ain't got it, not realizing like, bro, you in the circle.
Right.
If the A&R or the manager who's directly talking to the artist is calling you consistently and saying,
Right.
hey, could you change this? Could you do this? Sometimes it ain't gonna land, but if you hit that thing right, bro,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You gonna get it. So that's another thing I realized. That's when I was like, yeah, Class professional, man. He know what's going on. Cause every time I got on the phone with you for a revision, he like, nah, I know how this go, man. I already know what's going on.
Fact.
Yeah, we gonna get it right. You know
I'm
what
like,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
man, we gonna get the end goal.
Yeah.
The end goal is the record. You know what I'm
So-
saying? I try not to ever let, the in between get in between
Facts.
the record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like you understood the mission, the assignment, man. You came with it. And bro, I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, man.
We definitely fought for that record.
Yeah.
You probably, how many revisions? It was
I think we said about 7 or 8, something like that.
Yeah, like 7 revisions. And then shout out to Few, because he went back.
Now that was what I was concerned about. I wasn't really concerned about me,
Yeah.
because I can, like I can only imagine as an artist, you keep telling me to redo my verse or say the same verse
And a
this
different
way, and
changed it.
and I'm like, yo, like at a certain point, I'm like, I don't even know if these revisions that I'm making is even mattering.
Yeah.
'Cause, he gonna mess around and be like, I don't even care about the song no more.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It
That's
was
what I
like-
was scared of.
Yeah, and that was the thing, man. I was, and see, so a thing with A&Rs is when you got a situation like that, you fighting for time. So it's like everybody got to be on the same page, and this
Right.
is just advice at this point. Everybody got to be on the same page. So
Right.
it's like, cause we all trying to make sure the artists don't get tired of the record.
Exactly.
So it's like we gotta hurry up and make these revisions before the artist says, you know what, I'm over it. Because once the artist says I'm over it, then it was all for nothing.
Yeah,
so
facts.
it's like once we go into revision stage, because the artist may be like, I don't know, man. It's
Like,
something
is it
about
even worth?
yeah, I
to
don't
even
know.
do all this?
And the A&R or the manager may be like, no, we just got to change these drums.
Right.
So the artist like, all right, man, if the drums come back dope, I'll just go do your thing. So the artist gives you the green light, but you gotta sell it back to them. So you go to your people, to the producers, and you like, yo, bro, can you change these drums? And the producer already defeated.
Right.
Man, last time, man.
Right.
Man, last time, bro, it took a long time. So it's like, what happens is, because we all wasn't on the same page, we
Right.
didn't sell that record to that artist in the time span that would have, because you could have did them drums that night, got it back, and the artist like, yo, I love this record, let's keep it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's a fight for time. And that's why you be having like A&Rs kind of like, yo, did you do it? Did you do it?
Right.
They fighting for time. It's like, I'm trying to keep, I got this person's attention. I got this artist. And definitely if you dealing with like bigger artists, like,
Oh, for sure. Oh,
you know
no,
what I'm saying?
those situations.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it in 24 hours.
yeah,
Like that's how much they called me at midnight. Hit me like 2-3 p.m. the next day. Yo,
Yeah.
it's done. Is it ready? I'm like,
yeah. Because
like,
they
I
fight.
kind of just started. Like, God dang.
Because it's like, what you realize is like, I mean, what they're doing is they're selling you. Like,
Right.
that's another thing that you don't realize is that.
Oh, I realized.
Yeah, and that's what I love. That's why I love Class, because Class know what's up.
Right.
But this is just advice to producers
Right.
who aren't tapped into what's going on. If an A&R keep coming back to you, it's because they're trying to sell you to the team.
Right.
Because they done went in and said, this is the dopest producer. And my thing is, if you don't turn out to be the dopest producer, my word becomes less
Yeah, yeah,
valuable
for sure.
to the creative. You feel what I'm saying?
sure.
If you not coming through for me, my word becomes less valuable. So
sure.
it's like, we working together to make sure that they use you for the next product or the next album and the next album. And that's if you got a great relationship with the A&R, of course. But we're working together to try to get this artist to fall in love with you or to get the
Right.
label to fall in love with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's just like some behind. I felt like that's never been said before. For some,
No,
you know
but
what
that's
I'm saying?
facts though. That's all the way facts.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Fighting for time, and that's definitely real.
facts.
Man, I appreciate you 10 times over.
Man, for sure,
You know what
bro.
I'm saying? For, obviously just even coming through, you know what I'm saying? Been A1 since day one.
Absolutely.
That we crossed paths.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I'm happy that we have one together.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
The As I Am record.
Let's do it.
And, I look forward to getting more.
Let's do it. It's
You know what I'm
just getting started, man.
Yeah. So appreciate you.
Hey, thank you for having me, brother.
Okay.
Yes, sir.